underneath Australia over there, because that's where they tested them in the Marshall Islands over there, and it drifted and it ate a big hole in the ozone layer, and they've been trying to blame it on hairspray. Took away all the hairspray and all that shit.
All the hairspray that was worth a damn.
And air conditioning in cars. And it was all just them letting off all them atmospheric weapons tests. And they're not going to tell you because you might want compensation from all the countries that did it. So that's one of the reasons that France is all buddy-buddy. Like normally we wouldn't be buddies with France. Okay, but, so, you know, there's something to gain because they're having a bunch of problems over there right now.
Yeah. They're all pissed off that their president is married to this model. It's all obviously some kind of con.
It's like a beard for him.
Yeah. Because he got divorced for what, like the third time or something?
Oh, yeah. And they're obviously all beautiful, tall women. Model looking. They're just, it's like you said, they hire them to be beards, and they're usually working for some foreign government. Or a rich person or something. Whoever runs the world.
Some kind of corporate something or another.
Which is always just different for some rich person. Not always, but most of the time. Like, a lot of them French people own like companies and shit.
Okay, I'm adding me some fresh cilantro.
It's funny how they're all like
feels pretty warm.
Round.
So, why don't you go ahead and start cooking one?
How do you do that?
Put one of them on top of the griddle, or the grill, the little pan. No, y'all missed it. I'm not shaking them no more. All right. That's it. Cameraman has ruined your fun. So if you have a complaint about cameraman filming that white piece of paper instead of my jiggling titties, then why don't you call up and say, cameraman, next time Arcie's jiggling her titties, I want to see it.
I feel required to tell you right now, and this is probably the only time I'll ever say it, but just so you can't come back and sue us, that if you call in, it means that you grant permission for us to make a CD out of your recording, because we're making it.
Some of you guys are really funny.
And we're going to sell it.
You should get your own shows on Access.
You know, that's a good idea. I recommend it. I really think it's just a great way to get out there and express yourself. And you meet a lot of people. And, you know, who knows, we might get planets named after us. I bet it's been a minute.
Okay. That is pretty darn good. The only thing I might add to that is a little hot pepper. That looks good. Then just let it cook another like 30 seconds and then stick it in this foil here. I'll make you a little pocket.
Oh, it's smashed.
Well, now just put it back on there.
I thought it was done.
No, it wasn't 30 seconds.
It seemed like it. It's one thing I think retarded people and me would be hard. It's hard to tell time. The passage of time, don't know it. I think maybe it's something to do with whatever is wrong with me.
Okay. That's what I'm going to do.
Like maybe that's whatever's wrong with me.
Now, go ahead and flip it over and just make sure it looks done. Yeah, it looks done, so just go ahead and stick it in the pouch.
It's smaller than the kind you get at the store.
Well, it's because you didn't put quite enough stuff on it. Plus, my press isn't a very good press. Okay.
Well, cameraman bought it for you.
He did. I called him up one day, and I said, cameraman, I need a tortilla press. I can't find mine. I think my ex-husband still has it. And he said, all right, I'll get you one. And he just brought that one, and it works fine for what I need to do.
I think that the deal is that my center of gravity is below the level of that table, and so I can't put all my weight on it. It's some kind of physics question, but yeah. And it's just because I'm tiny. I'm a tiny person.
You know, it's funny, one of them people called and said how tall we was, and we're not tall at all.
And how long our legs was. Just isn't true. I mean, no offense to Arcie, but, you know.
We're short.
She doesn't have long legs, and I don't, for sure.
We are short people.
We're almost dwarfish. And we don't look like that because that's the magic of television. I mean, that Kelly Ripa, she's only like, she's like 3 feet tall.
Yeah, some of them people's real short. Like Tom Cruise is real short.
Like Tom Cruise. But they have to, because that's what looks good.
Okay. I'm just going to transfer my coleslaw to this bowl, and then I'm just going to cook the fish right in the same pan.
Is that done?
How long has it been on that other side? No, let it cook some more. See, when it looks a little dry, that's when it's done. It starts to get crackly.
Yeah, okay. Crackly.
Crackly.
That's a good tip.
Crackly. That looks good. Now that makes a whole lot. You can make a whole lot less than this, but this is because we have used basic ingredients in this. You can turn this dish into something else easily just by adding some different seasonings. You could add some sesame oil and make it into an Asian style coleslaw. You could add some curry, make it into an Indian style thing. I mean, it works as a Mexican thing, but it's also adaptable. And that's what you want to think about when you're cooking. You want to make stuff that's adaptable so you can easily modify the recipe to suit your needs. That's just smart cooking. It's not just cooking good, it's cooking smart. Okay. There's that, and all I'm going to do is wipe the pan out just so we don't get this burnt detritus on our fish.
That one's rising up.
Well, then put it in the thing.
It's like, look at it.
It's done. When it starts puffing, it's definitely done.
Scary. It looked kind of like it was supernatural.
All right, I'm just going to stick this over here for now. Over here by Heath and chicken. This is our, did you actually already talk about this, Shasta?
No, I didn't.
Shasta insisted we light a candle to Heath Ledger because he accidentally killed himself with prescription drugs. The thing is, when the man gives you prescription drugs, you have to use them in moderation. You can't just keep taking them like non-stop because eventually it'll stop your heart. And I think that's just part of their weeding out process, frankly.
It's a good way to put it. You can't protect them from themselves. I mean, they want to control you, so they give you the drugs. But they don't...
if you're not like with it enough to not off yourself by taking too many, they don't quite need your services.
Right.
Not to say that, you know, it wasn't tragic and all, but... that's just the way it goes.
I think it's actually much harder to OD than people think, in that he probably was killed by the spooks.
You think?
They have to kill some blonde, attractive person, and I think that, you know, maybe it wasn't planned by the U.S. government, but I think somebody was like, well, he's high on our list. Plus, he's probably done somebody who doesn't want, you know.
Okay, so we just got a little bit of oil that we're going to put in the pan. I'm just going to leave mine out in case I need it. I think it'll be all right. And the only other thing I'm going to get down is some salt and some of this seasoning pepper that I like to use. It's just a blend of different seasonings. Fish is one of them things you don't need to do a whole lot to. Just maybe a little salt and pepper and 1 or 2 ingredients, and that's all you need. And even just salt and pepper works fine if it's super fresh. In fact, the best way to eat fish, I still think, is raw, which is what the Japanese do. Okay.